Welcome back, guys, to another one of these Immaculate crossover grids. I need in the top row IC champion, a tag team champion, and somebody who wrestled in the 2000s. And down here, I need somebody who won a ladder match. It could be Money in the Bank, it could be a TLC, it could be anything, any ladder match winner. It could be, was it ladder match winner? Yes, a faction member, so anybody that's been a member of a faction, and anybody who was an NXT wrestler. And I get 10 skips. So let's get started straight into it. And people that was not in WWE, I'm just not going to count them. They're not going to count as a skip, like Nick Bockwinkel. Just going to imagine that role never happened. First, we are getting Hawk. So, he was in WWE, and he's definitely... Hawk, he didn't wrestle... Did he wrestle in the 2000s? Yes, he technically did. Was he part of a faction? Now, would you count two wrestlers and a manager as a faction? Because him, Animal, and Paul Ellering, technically that's a faction. Two wrestlers with a manager is technically a faction. So he wrestled in the 2000s. So I'm going to count him as a faction member and wrestled in the 2000s. And now I'm going to get so many comments about that's a cheat. It's really not. He wrestled in the 2000s and he was a faction member. It's one of those things. Cody Rhodes, he's been an IC champion. He's been a tag champion. He wrestled in the 2000s. Okay, IC champion, faction member, tag champion. Cody Rhodes. I'm going to count him as IC champion and faction member because, he was part of Legacy. He was part of, I'm not going to count it, but Bullet Club technically. He's been IC champion and he's been a faction member. So Cody is IC champion plus faction member. So we still need quite a few things, but I think I'm off to a good start. And as I say that, Vader, not so good. He was definitely didn't win a ladder match. Definitely not an NXT. No, Vader's going to be my first skip. Next, who are we getting? We are getting Owen Hart. He was a tag team champion. Did Owen Hart ever win a ladder match? I don't think so. I don't recall Owen Hart winning a ladder match. He was IC champion, he was tag champion, but that's the only two spots, so he's not NXT. Wait a second. He was in the Hart Foundation. So tag champion and Hart Foundation. Owen Hart. So I've got all my faction members out of the way. That counts. That's definitely a faction. So now I need to fill out the rest of the spots. RVD, he's definitely won a ladder match and he's been IC champion, so I'm going to make RVD ladder match and IC champion. So there we go, he won Money in the Bank, so that's definitely a win there. Next we are getting Jeff Hardy. He's definitely won a ladder match and he's definitely a tag guy, so Jeff Hardy is going to be my tag and ladder Hardy. Okay, I'm actually doing really well with this. I only have one skip out of the way. Matt Hardy, he's definitely won a ladder match and he's definitely wrestled in the 2000s. So I literally just need my NXT spots. So if I land on somebody that's not been in NXT, that's a bummer. So someone like Dolph Ziggler, he has wrestled in NXT. He was NXT champion. He's NXT and he's been IC champion, so I'm going to put Dolph in that spot. Okay, so I need an NXT, and I could have put Dolph in any of the spots, but I just went for that spot right there. Next, Yoko, definitely not wrestled in NXT. Next, we've got DDP, definitely not wrestled in NXT, so I've got 3 skips now. Next, Lex, definitely not wrestled in NXT, another skip. Next, we've got Ted DiBiase. I don't recall him wrestling in NXT. He's my next skip. Next, we've got Macho. Nope. I literally just have to land on NXT guys now. Matt. Okay, I've already got Madness, so I'm not going to use him as a skip. Next, we've got Ray. He was not an NXT guy. He probably has wrestled a match in NXT, but I can't remember really him being an NXT guy. Superstar's another skip. Next, Dean Malenko. He's another skip. And I've got one more skip left. Kenny Omega, I'm not going to count Kenny Omega. It's just going to be like he never existed in this. Terry Funk, he's my last skip. So this next person is my Wamboozled. And Big Show didn't make it today. I just didn't clutch up with the NXT guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Peace.